And we are live. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Chris with Small Businesses and Entrepreneurs and Business Owners of New Jersey. And I'm just reading something here. It says it looks like the podcast was deleted on Facebook. Try creating Go Live. We might have to remove this.
No, it's restarted. I don't think that.
Oh, crap. Cancel that. And we just messed up here. We're still on
I don't
live.
think the intro
There
worked.
we go. So we are on live right now. So I don't think the intro worked, but that is a technical difficulty. So today we got Rob Naples from, he's a certified financial planner. And he's from New Jersey, and he helps a lot of people with any type of financial discrepancies, get your life together, for the future, especially for a lot of young families like me. I got kids and I want to get them in college, and we all know college is so expensive. We have to start saving now. And for everybody that has jobs, I mean, inflation is going up, and the price of school is not going to go low, and we want to get our kids into good colleges and get them to compete in this world. We're going to need a guy like Rob on our side. And as far as what I was talking to Rob from the beginning before we got on live, we were speaking about, getting started. The procrastination sometimes digs deep into us where we're so busy working and we keep on putting it aside. I went with Rob and I did a lot of his, I took a lot of his advice. It's very helpful, and it has changed a lot of spectrums in what I do. So anyway, long overdue. Here's Rob. And Rob, happy to have you come up on the show here with Junk Doctors and Jay and Small Businesses and Entrepreneurs to give everybody a chance to get some vision of their business and get out in front of everybody. And we're all about small businesses and getting everybody out there. So introduce yourself.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the ability to be on here to share my unique ability with your followers, with everybody. And I know you have a lot of other people coming on this platform to share their unique abilities with the world. And for me, my personal unique ability is financial planning. Right. So it says here, Robert Nabel. I'm a certified financial planner. What that means is, I passed a really hard test. At the end of the day, that's kind of what it means. And I was just sharing with my new friend here that the bar to entry to be a financial advisor is so low that you only need to pass one or two exams to be able to call yourself and hold yourself out as a financial advisor. But to be a certified financial planner, you have to have a minimum level of 3 years worth of experience. You have to have passed all these different college courses, and then you have to take a really hard exam, a 10-hour exam, which was not easy. So I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be able to share again what we do. So who I pretty much serve is young families across New Jersey. Pretty much I do that on a virtual platform. My platform of choice is Zoom, but we can use any platform. Or if you wanted to get together and have a one-to-one face-to-face, I'd be ecstatic. I'd be thrilled to do that because we don't really do that too much anymore. And I grew up in an Italian household, so I like to do the hug, the kiss, and all of that.
Yeah, it's
With
good.
everyone. Yeah.
You want to get to know your customers, and why not? Because when we talk about money and finances, we're talking about trust. And
Oh yeah.
I mean, do you find that obviously you find that very virtual? I mean, to have with people.
Yeah. So I share with everybody. I say when you're dealing with somebody like me, somebody who wears my hat, financial planning hat, or you're dealing with anybody who deals with money or personal details of your life, whether that's your personal attorney who's going to be writing up your will, your estate plan, your CPA, your accountant, or your financial advisor, you need to be able to answer yes to a minimum of 3 questions. And those questions are, does he know or she know what the heck they're talking about?
Mm.
Right? Second question is, do I trust them? Right? You were
Yeah,
just sharing about trust being a huge factor in this arena.
definitely.
And then the last
It's all about
question
money.
is, yeah, and the last question is, do they have my best interest at heart? And if you can answer yes to those 3 questions, then I believe that's grounds for a good, solid, foundational relationship like I said, with anybody who wears my type of hat, an advisory type of hat.
Yeah, and Rob, I was also speaking to you about just today, like just in today's world, what we're seeing is historic. I mean, record-breaking inflation, record-breaking people using their credit. Like I've seen statistics on pre-COVID and after COVID, and we have ran up a lot of bills in this country. And are you seeing that firsthand on front line as you're dealing with people? And they're sharing their financial
Yeah.
situation. Do you see some messes out there? That I mean, because at the end of the day, I'm sure people call financial advisors when they get themselves in a little pickle and they need to,
Yeah.
get things. Or it's
Yeah.
kind of like what I do. It's like we declutter people's homes and clean out their
Exactly.
homes. It's kind of like you're decluttering
Yeah.
their financial mess and getting it organized.
Yeah, so I like to say when people bring their financial junk drawer to me,
Nice.
that's what we like to declutter. That's what we like to put and wrap it in a nice little bow, if
Yes.
you will. But sure, yeah, people are definitely utilizing their credit cards a lot more often. They're not saving nearly as much as they used to. And even if we are we saving in the right vehicles? Right? Because like I was sharing with you earlier, I've been doing this for a number of years, and when I speak to people about their savings habits, I ask them, ideally, how would you like to be saving? In a short term, a midterm, and a long term bucket, right? And I might say some people will share with me a third, a third, a third into their short term, midterm, and long term buckets for their savings goals. Some people say 40, 20, 40. Some people say 20, 40, 40. It doesn't matter how they ideally want to save. What actually matters is how they're currently saving.
Mm.
And not one single time have I asked people that question. Did their ideal savings and their actual savings align?
Mm.
So that's what I do. I come in and say, okay, you have a goal to buy a house in the next 2 or 3 years, but you're saving all of your money into your 401k. You're saving 15% of your income into your 401k. You're 35 years old. You're not going to be able to touch that money until you're 59 and a half. So you can't touch that money for another 25 years. Does that make sense?
No.
No.
It's you might need it.
And that's what we call a behavior gap.
Yeah.
So a behavior gap is something that when we say we want to do something, but we're actually doing something in complete and total in the opposite of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think if people are going to save long term, they have to understand that's long term. Like if you're going to put something in an IRA and you want to see some ROI from it, as
Yep.
as they say, you're going to have to leave that in there for quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
But you're saying that you also know other tactics of implying people's money into something where they could see something quickly.
Yeah, well, like I said, everything boils down to what their goals are. So if people share with me, they say, "Rob, I really want to buy a house in the next 2 years. I don't want to be a renter anymore. I want to be a homeowner." Then we're not going to put their money into the stock market. We're not going to put it. We're not definitely not going to buy Bitcoin with it. We're not going to put it into other vehicles that we utilize for our midterm and our long term.
Binary options.
Exactly.
None of those.
We're not going to be doing no naked calls. None of that. We're not going to be buying options. We're not going to do any of that. We're going to put up the money into a short-term, liquid money market account. And by the way, I don't get paid on that. That's not a recommendation that I get paid on. I get paid to manage money. I'm not managing money market accounts.
Money marketing accounts. I remember hearing that a long time ago. I think the first time I heard about money marketing accounts was in the 1990s when Citibank was offering money marketing
accounts. Yeah, so any bank offers a money marketing
now
account.
Any bank is doing that.
And really, it's just short-term treasuries.
That's all it is.
Yeah. They invest in very short-term, 2-week to 90-day bills, T-bills.
Really?
Treasury bills.
So your first course of action is to get into somebody's, once you're in somebody's home, or you're talking about financial stability, you need to see their records. What have you been spending money on? Would you give your customers like a a financial plan on how much to spend, because they're going to show you like, well, this is how much to pay for car insurance, mortgage,
Yep.
grocery bills, gas, electric. So do you pretty much simplify that list and start saying, well, you could cut down on here, you could travel less, maybe not take 2 vacations, take one, stuff like that?
So first, I want to say that I don't ever recommend anybody to take less vacations.
Yeah,
Because I think that we should be living our lives for today and also tomorrow.
definitely.
So if people like me personally, I travel all the time. My wife and I, we travel a minimum every quarter, but more often than not, more than that. So we're actually going to Turkey in 2 days.
Cool.
So we're going to Turkey. We're going to have a really good time there. But we like to travel.
That's good.
And we have sinking fund costs for that. So what that is just we'll put $250 a month each of us into an account, and after 3 months it'll be $1,500. We get an Airbnb, we get our planes, and our plane tickets, and then we can eat and have some fun.
There you go.
We don't spend a lot when we travel.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, but that sounds great.
We're not staying at the Ritz.
Yeah, that sounds great.
This Turkey trip is going to be a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, well, you're traveling around the world, but that sounds great because you're planning for it, obviously, and you're telling and you're showing people, you can still travel. Then you just got to plan it correctly financially.
Yeah. So my process is this: when somebody comes to me, somebody books a meeting on my calendar, and I have that first meeting with them. There's never recommendations on that first call. It's always let me get to know you. You're going to get to know me. At the end of this conversation, whether it be 30 minutes from now, 25 minutes from now, 45 minutes from now, we're going to come to 1 or 2 conclusions. Either one, I might or you might think we're just not a good fit. I might say, based on everything you shared with me, I might say, you know what? I would love to be able to help you, but I'm just not the right fit. Everything I could do a lot. I can't help you. I might be able to refer them to somebody who's a better fit for them. Or alternatively, they might say, based on everything that I share, that I don't know, Rob. I don't think you're the right person for me. And that's totally okay with me, right? Because I know I'm not going to be the perfect advisor for everyone, and I don't want to be the perfect advisor for everyone. I want to be the perfect advisor to a select few.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one outcome. The other outcome is we find a synergistic fit, and we feel as though both of us, me and the husband and the wife, or the husband and the husband, or the wife and the wife, we feel as though we would be a good fit to work together. And then we'll move into the next call. So typically my meetings it's a three meeting approach. First meeting is, do we like each other? Do we want to work with each other? Right. And if they can answer yes to those 3 questions that I said before, do they know what they're talking about? Do I trust them? Do they have my best interest at heart? Then we can move to the next meeting. The next meeting is between the first meeting and the second meeting, they're sending me all of their documents, everything, their 401k statement, their life insurance statement, their disability insurance statement, their homeowner's insurance, their auto insurance, their IRAs, their individual brokerage accounts, their will,
their stocks,
exactly. Yeah. Individual brokerage accounts, their stocks accounts. Because I want to see all of that.
That's the only way it's going to work. You cannot hold back, because if you hold back and then you fix it and then like, wait, we're missing. And so the numbers have to add up.
Yep. And then on the first call, we're also going over what their goals are. And then we also go over that allocation of, if you could save $100 towards your short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals, or a percentage, whatever it is, how would you want to save it? Right? We don't even have to go into how they're actually saving, just how would they like to save it. And then I get all their goals, I get how they want to be saving, and then I get all the documents and I review all their documents. And it takes a good amount of time. So I review their documents, and then the next call, the second call, I'm coming back with a 1-page plan. A 1-page financial plan. And the reason I do 1 page is because, can I print out a 200-page big document, slam it on their desk, and say, here, I did my due diligence as a financial planner. I feel good about myself. You feel good about yourself that you have this big old book in front of you.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what does it become? It becomes coffee table material.
or something you have to find time to read. I mean, today, and I'm going to tell you what's so hard about that, and I've been through that situation, is that we are no longer 9 to 5 people in this world. I mean, yes, people do have 9 to 5s, but do they typically stay to 9 to 5? They probably stay later now. I mean, statistically, people are working a lot more. Let's just put it that way. That extra couple hundreds of pages, yeah, you could become stagnated or procrastinate to read it. So, I mean, somebody like you may explain it then.
What happens is nothing gets done. Nothing. It just it's and it will have, and I, like I said, I've been doing this for a number of years, and I have found that on our annual review, on our annual meeting, when we come back to the table and we say, "How have you done the past year?" They'll bashfully say, they'll pull their hat over their eyes and say, kicking the floor. Well, gosh, Rob, I didn't do anything. Right? So that's why we make that one-page financial plan, because it's a list of the most important next steps to accomplish. And I give them, I spell it out for them very, very easily and very quickly. This is what we want to do. We want to engage an attorney for our will. We want to up our life insurance and our disability insurance. We want to open up an account for the children to start saving for college or whatever they want to save for. And we want to reallocate our savings to our 401k, right? So that our actions align with our intentions.
Do you help people like, let's say people that are self-employed, and like me, I'm self-employed, and I want a 401k.
Yep.
Would you be able to set me up and align me up with a
Sure.
401?
Sure. So first and foremost, it would have to be, does a 401k make sense for you, right? And I can't answer that question based on a very short conversation.
Sure. You would need to see numbers.
But what I can say is, yeah, we certainly can do that. We do a lot of advanced tax planning for small business owners. As a matter of fact, I showed a small business owner $500,000 tax deduction just last year.
You found what?
$500,000 tax deduction.
You found a $500,000 tax deduction. Yep. Wow.
That their CPA didn't tell them.
That's incredible, man. And you know that CPA is supposed to know these things.
Oh yeah.
And that's another problem.
And I'm not trying to throw the CPA under the bus.
Yeah, but there's so many of them that should be thrown under the bus.
At the end of the day, she should have done a better job.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. We are, you know, you can find accountants, so-called accountants. People could be accountants without a CPA. Oh, yeah. I mean, and that's another treacherous territory for businesses and people to find a good accountant, unless you want to go to a H&R Block. But you know, if you have to get more into details about your stuff, I mean, H&R Block may not be the best place. So, do you also work with the customer's accountant? I mean, how does that work?
Yeah. So oftentimes,
are you an accountant? Do you have any accountant experience?
I'm not an accountant. No, I have some software where I run tax returns through to see if the accountant missed anything or what type of tax planning we can do. Because at the end of the day, there's two different people, right? There's tax preparers, which is what accountants and CPAs are. Mm-hmm. So they're looking, if you're driving in the car, right? You have the rear view mirror, small little mirror, right? You're looking in the back. You're looking at what happened in the past. How can we mitigate our tax liability today? Whereas me as a tax planner, I'm looking in the front, the windshield. I'm looking to the future. I'm looking to say, how can we mitigate our lifetime tax bill? Right, and that's what we do as financial advisors and planners and tax planners. Is all right. You're putting all of your money right now into a qualified plan, and when I say qualified, I mean a 401k or an IRA or something that you don't pay tax on today, but you're just kicking that tax bill down the road, and it might get big, it might get small. I mean, with the $30 trillion United States deficit, I can't see taxes going any lower. And the only way the IRS, the government, makes money is through taxing U.S. citizens. Yeah. So there's like $70 trillion that's locked up in qualified plans. Wow. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball or anything, but if I were a betting man, which you could find me in Atlantic City from time to time, putting all my money on black. I'm going to say taxes are going up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I mean, I've seen it firsthand. We're all seeing it firsthand.
Mhm.
In New Jersey, they never touched the gas tax. I mean, that was our only thing that we had
Oh,
in New
yeah.
Jersey, cheap gas. Like
Yeah.
everybody used to come from PA, New York. That's, we're gonna stop through and go through to get gas in Jersey. That's over with.
Yeah.
So
It's true.
that's one example. But yeah, you're right. So that sounds awesome. I think as a person like me, that I mean, and just like everybody that's on small businesses, on entrepreneurs, I mean, we're all paying taxes. We're all in the same sort of scenario. You can help people avoid paying
Certainly.
so much taxes if there's a code or law code that says that.
Yeah. I mean, I have up my sleeve the ultimate FU to Uncle Sam.
Really?
The absolute ultimate kick rocks.
Wow.
IRS, you're not getting my money.
Wow, really? And that pertains to like just
That pertains
regular?
to no. You have to be a certain income,
Yeah,
like $500,000 or more.
yeah.
Um,
So it seems like, yeah, that seems like another thing. It seems like people that are making under a certain amount of money, they have to pay more taxes versus some people they get paid more money, so they pay less taxes.
yeah. Well, there's loopholes. There's I don't want to say loopholes, but there's strategies
Yeah.
that you could lower that tax bill.
Hmm.
Right, like the one I'm speaking of is called a charitable LLC. Have you ever heard of?
Like a like a nonprofit?
So it's an LLC, but you open up a single member LLC, and you effectively would gift 99% of limited shares and units to a charity of your choice. Right? Call it St. Jude's Hospital, whatever it is. Donor advised fund, I don't care. A 501c3 charity. Then you could put your income into the LLC, and you get 60% AGI deduction from your income. So let's say you're making $1 million. Now you only pay tax on $400,000 if you put $600,000 in. Right? Then people say to me, "Well, Rob, I'm charitably inclined. I like to give to my church. I like to tithe. I like to tithe 10% or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't want to give 60% of my income away. Why would I
Sure.
want to do that?" Well, sure. I mean, who would want to do that, right?
Yeah.
We get that money back out in the form of a loan, and then we collateralize that loan with a life insurance policy.
Mm.
So I don't want to have your viewers go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Get all confused with this.
Yeah,
right?
they would need somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Obviously, and that's Rob. And that sounds great, because the tax code is very complicated. I've looked into it. I tried to read, but the only way that you could really make sense of it is through professionals and references and just straight up old fashioned research. And now, there is a lot more different technologies out that make it more easier to understand the tax code if you have you can utilize it. But I think that's one of the biggest things like that people are paying. Like one of the biggest bills is the taxes and their credit. And I think a lot of people need financial advice. I mean, it's in demand, but are people making an initiative? Because I think some people think, oh, we're young still, we don't need to find. So your target market usually, or your market right now, do you see that you're dealing with a lot more older people that are more responsible now? They realize they need to start getting their finances in place, or you deal with a lot of young people too?
So I do deal with some of the older people, some of the people who are already established, but the people I find more joy and passion in helping is the people who they don't have their shit together yet, right? And they need that help and that advice and that coaching and that somebody to advocate for them, to say, hey, what are you doing? Why are you doing this when you could be doing this? So yeah, I deal a lot in the expecting parent market. People start getting nervous. People who are people who are, they might currently be pregnant, they might be looking to get pregnant, or they might already have a small family, young children, and they haven't done any planning up until now, and they want to really start to start get that planning in order, right? Because college ain't getting no cheaper.
No, no, definitely not.
My wife went to Harvard Medical School, and
Wow.
she has no student loans. Her parents paid for everything.
Nice.
But she wants to send, and my wife is currently pregnant.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna have a baby girl come September.
Nice. Congratulations.
But she wants to send our baby girl to Harvard.
There we go. Got some big expectations.
So now, me being the financial advisor and planner that I am,
there you go.
I'm like, all right, let me crunch these numbers real quick.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, okay, because we're not going to get any financial based need, we're going to have to pay for this entire thing out of pocket.
Unless she gets
scholarships.
Yeah, unless she's,
unless she's super, super brilliant, and we're probably going to have her do like rowing or fencing or
sound lacrosse. Something.
Exactly. But we're going to have a big fat bill to pay no matter what. So I'm thinking, all right, Harvard, $75,000 a year, 3% inflation rate over the next 18 years. It's like $140,000 a year for a Harvard education, $600,000 for just an undergrad education.
That's just an undergrad.
So then I'm thinking, all right,
jeez,
how much do I have to invest on a monthly basis getting a 8% rate of return? It's $1,000 a month. People don't think about this stuff.
They don't think about the interest rate.
They think, oh, my child isn't in college yet. No, my child isn't in high school yet. We don't have to think until high school. No.
They think they're going to get that money within 2 years up and start paying.
Nope.
Or they get stuck with financial loans. That is a hard one. And that's even hit the political scene where they want to forgive loans and they're predatory. And how could, an 18-year-old guy or woman or young child or young teenager get this much money to go to college, but a person that's established looking for a loan? So it's so funny, like the way loans are. Do we have a question?
Yes. Financial literacy is an essential skill for individuals and families. What advice do you have for parents who want to teach their children about money management and financial responsibility?
That's a good one.
Start them young. I mean, my daughter, if she doesn't become a doctor like my wife, she's going to become a money manager like me. If she wants to, at least, right? So I'm going to have her being able to evaluate different stock valuations by the time she's 5 years old. She'll be able to she'll be able to know what stock should I invest in, or how much money should I be saving, or this or that. So you definitely need to start them early. You definitely need to start them young. But at the end of the day, you also have to know what to share with them, right? And if you don't know what to share with them, then you're not going to be doing a good job sharing anything with them. You might even be doing something detrimental.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Yeah, by Robert Kiyosaki.
And some of that stuff we are. I don't want to say brainwashed, but we are just taught put your money in the bank. And just let it sit there. And, the American dream is to buy a house, and I was like, damn, man, we were just trained. But if we really looked at a bigger picture, there is so many different options on how to better your financial situation. Because in America, we start off with, years ago, the dad would go out and work. And as America got older and the family union started changing, mom and dad went out to work. Education now, the industrial age is over. Most of our manufacturing jobs goes across seas. People are more educated. They don't want to do laborious jobs. They want to be in different sectors of jobs like lawyer, doctors, hedge funder, anything besides hard labor. But then our school system goes up. So everything, it sounds like it's revolving around financial responsibility from the beginning. From the minute you start making money, you have to make sound financial investments. I mean, I feel like you can make a mistake here and there, but if you keep on doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same results, I don't know what they call that. They call insanity. They call that insanity. And it's the definition of insanity. And I feel as if you want to change your life and you want to see your money grow and you want more out of your money, and this is especially to people that are working jobs, and they're just getting paid the same check every week. So some people give up and they're like, well, how do I make this grow? I get the same amount of money every week. How can you help somebody that they know exactly to the penny? They know, unless they do overtime, but they know exactly to the penny how much money to get every month. How are you going to help this family or this person make more money?
Well, this is America, right? We could do anything to make money, right? They could drive Uber, they could drive Lyft.
So you would suggest to a person that's working,
if they need to make more money, then they need to suck it up and do something to make more money.
and that's what your advice would be to a client.
Somebody called me, had a question for me, and like I said, I'm not the advisor for everybody because sometimes I can be brash.
Mm-hmm.
But they called me up and they said, "Hey Rob, we're going into a recession. What happens if I lose my job? You get another one."
Yeah. Or collect unemployment until you get another one.
Yeah. But I said to him, I said, "Look, dude, you have a very unique skill set and ability. Somebody will employ you. If you're out of a job for a little bit of time, it's only a little bit of time. You spend that time looking for a new job."
That's true, man. You got to hustle, man.
Yeah.
It is a tough one. It's a tough one.
You can, like Gary Vaynerchuk. Are you familiar with Gary Vay? So he says you can make money doing anything. You could have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Knitting kittens or something, and then if you get enough people to follow that channel, then you'll get money from advertisements and stuff. You could drive Uber. You could sell courses.
Nice.
Right. My wife, she does on the side consulting for how to get into medical school. So she's working with someone right now who, by the way, she never would have gotten to medical school if my wife wasn't helping her because her essay was atrocious.
Nice.
But she charges a premium for that service.
To write essays.
Yeah.
Nice.
To help write essays.
Well, that sounds like that particular job may be facing some difficulties coming up soon. But no, I mean, I get it, man. Those essay jobs are hard, man. I feel like, yeah, man, this is and I think this is a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people. I think people have a lot of ego, pride, and they, especially if you're looking at their finance, everybody's proud about what they have. You might see a guy with a $80,000 car, truck, house, all these things, and you're like, wow, that guy has a lot of money. You may be wrong. He might be in a lot of debt.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like my wife, sometimes she'll get into that keeping up with the Joneses type thing, and I'm like, babe, you don't know like what's actually going on with their finances.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Like, you don't know.
Like one of her colleagues just bought like $1.5 million home, and they don't have any money to furnish it.
I've seen that many a times. I've seen that many a times, and that's just I feel like that's a cultural thing too in our country. We're in a land of sensationally buy stuff, and I believe that's why they want to slow down the economy and slow it down so inflation could catch up and then it could go down a little bit, and the supply chain, and I just hear that same thing over and over again. Do you, and in what you do and work, and since you've been doing so long, you've seen the other side where before inflation went up this drastically in these last 3 years, 4 years, before that, were you busier or are you just as busy? Or are you seeing people nervous now?
I'm probably saying that I'm busier now, right? Because when I say I manage money, what I actually do is I risk manage money through economic environments that we're in right now. So what that means is if you don't have somebody on your team making sure that you don't get any poorer, you're going to get poorer, right? My next door neighbor day trades his account, doesn't have an advisor. I told him 36 times, hey, you want to have a conversation ever? He's too proud.
Yeah. He's like, I make my own money.
Yeah, he's too proud. And guess what he said? His account was down 70%.
Wow. And yeah, a lot of people.
You know how much you have to make to come back from 70%?
Shit, 70%?
No, like 300%.
Oh yeah, you gotta make the 300. You gotta make the 70 back.
40%.
Yeah, that's
because
right.
Your account is down
that's
from
right.
100 to 30,000. 70% would only bring you up to like $46,000.
Yeah.
But 100% of 30,
you would know.
100% of 30 would bring you to 60. Another 100% would bring you to 90.
So you have to make 300% to get that
300%.
money back. Oh my
More
God.
than 300.
Wow. That's why you sometimes, if you invest in stocks and you see them drop and you're like, well, I'll just hold on to them. They'll go back up again.
Oh, yeah.
But you have to wait,
So when I say I risk manage people's money through economic environments that we're in right now. But not only that, so throughout COVID and these past couple of years have been weird, right? People have come face to face with their own mortality. Their next door neighbor, their brother, their cousin, they died from COVID. And now they're starting to think, well, gosh, if they died, maybe I could die too. So now that superhero complex is starting to fade a little bit. Now we're saying, well, gosh, I am only human. Maybe I should get my financial house in order. So I don't only advise on how to manage money, but I also advise on your risk management portfolio too, and not just in the market. On, do you have adequate disability insurance? Do you have adequate life insurance? Right? And disability insurance is the biggest thing, especially for young people, because statistically speaking, people between the ages of 20 and 60, 1 in 4 people will have a long-term disability that will keep them out of work for at least 1 year.
So
that means the 3 of us and your other colleague out there,
Yeah.
one of us, statistically speaking, will not be able to work for at least a year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've seen this. This is very true. I believe that 100%. So if you ever look at if you ever gotten a check, like a payroll check, right? And you see on a payroll check, I'm not 100% sure, but I have looked at my check and I haven't looked at the takings in a while, but it says, Social Security disability and unemployment. So we're paying into Social Security disability, but that's not adequate enough. You want people to, because that Social Security is really nothing. It's like $1,400 a month, maybe.
Yeah.
You want people to actually invest in more disability insurance.
Yeah.
That can.
So it really truly matters the definition of a disability, and Social Security definition of disability is the hardest.
You got to be dying.
Yeah,
you're dying, dude.
You have to have like literally no legs. You got to be effed up.
Yes.
Like you can't be. You cannot be able to do anything.
Yeah.
You can't be.
If you can still pick up this cup, you're good to work.
Exactly. So the definition of disability, and when I'm getting people disability insurance, I'm looking at what does an own occupation rider look like, and what that means is, you, for example, if you couldn't, for junk doctors, if you couldn't go into a home and tear stuff out and declutter, but you can do something else, right? You can, I don't know, be a greeter at Walmart, or you could do any other occupation, even if it's you wanted to sell courses online, you could earn income. You could still get paid as long as you just couldn't do your own occupation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that's great. You can still get paid your disability.
Yeah.
I know people that went that route. Yeah, I mean that's so important, man. I'm so happy to have talked to you about these questions, and I know people out there, they have to be feeling it, man, with finances, man. I know just the people that I know, and I know a lot of people. I go to a lot of networking groups. I go to I'm part of Chambers of Commerce, and that's all people are talking about is their financial situations, and all you hear is, how do we make more money? How do we, everybody's trying to make more money, man, and it is nuts. We live in Jersey, one of the most densely populated states in America. I just went to Philadelphia this weekend for an event, and I just can't believe how packed it is up here. I mean, driving down there and then coming back up here to see how crowded the Northeast corridor is. And there's just so many people up here. And I think this is where all the money is. Most of the money, a lot of money.
So it's funny that you say that everybody wants to make more money and everybody wants to get their financial house in order, yet nobody wants to speak to a financial advisor.
Yeah, because I think that they don't think a financial advisor could help them. I think a lot of people have the pride. I don't think they could.
I think also a lot of people think that they don't have enough money.
Well, maybe that.
Financial advisor.
Yeah, that could. And you know what? we bust that myth right now. Rob is telling us, and I know that too. You don't have to be a millionaire to have a financial advisor. It's better to have a financial advisor while you're going up the ladder now than you trying to become, wealthy or make more money. I think you should have somebody coaching you
Oh,
and
yeah.
helping you, because I have dreams and aspirations too, but I'm good at what I do.
Yep.
Now, one of my weaknesses is our finances. That's not my responsibility in this company at all. I don't deal with the finances.
Delegate it.
I maybe delegate it maybe a little bit, but like the finances part is not my thing because it's not my strengths. I have other strengths in other areas. So that's why I feel like, for any, even if you don't own a business and you work for somebody or whatnot, yeah, financial advisor you would recommend.
Yeah, I say to everybody, I say, look, we like to go to the national parks, we like to go hiking and stuff. Last place we were at was in Ohio. If we're walking in this park, walking, we get lost. We don't know where the hell we are. And the next thing I know, a park ranger comes and says, "Oh, hey, follow me. I'll lead you out of here." Are we going to say yes or are we going to say no?
I'm saying
We're going to
yes.
say, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Get me out of here. I want to go home. But it's the complete and total opposite when it comes to finance, right? We get ourselves in these big pickles and then we say, I don't want your help. I don't need your help. I'll get myself out of it.
Yeah.
And then what happens? We get ourselves even
More
stuck.
deeper.
Yep.
I've seen this and I deal, and you know how I could do we have a question?
Yes.
Nice.
With the ever-changing economic landscape, how do you stay up to date with the latest financial trends and regulations to provide the best advice to your clients?
It's a great question. So regarding the market, if you will, we use a third-party risk management company called Hedgeye. We pay about $250,000 a year to be privy to their information, and that's what we use to trade accounts. That's the data that we utilize on a daily basis. My colleagues are up at 4 a.m. sifting through all the data, and they're saying, okay, this makes sense. This doesn't make sense. This makes sense. We're going to buy now. We're going to sell now, so on and so forth. Regarding regulations and stuff, I have to maintain the CFP, Certified Financial Planning designation. I have to do 30 hours of CE credits every 2 years. So that looks like exactly tax law, estate planning law, what's going on in the market, what's going on, what's the Fed doing, and that's how I stay.
And how do you feel about the Fed right now? Do you feel like they're going to ease back on interest soon, or what?
No. I think anybody who's relying on the Fed is they don't know what they're doing.
Okay. What about well today in the stock, not today, per se, but like nowadays the stocks are crazy. They're like up and down. They don't really stay steady. But one thing I could say is the amount of technology that's coming out now. Do you like NASDAQ, and do you think that do you pick specific stocks for people, or that's not what you do?
So my role is more of the financial planner.
Yeah.
Right? My team, they make the trades on the accounts. My role
Really?
is to put the entire plan together, right? Aggregate all the information and say, okay, you want to do X, Y, and Z. We're going to take A, B, and C road to get there. And if you don't like A, B, and C, then we'll do D, E, F. Right? And I give my clients different options that they can utilize that they might not like one thing and they might like something else. So that's what I do. But yeah, when it comes to actually managing and making the day-to-day trades, that's not my role.
Okay. That's good. I mean, we first got to get the garbage cleaned up before you could even invest in anything anyway. So,
Exactly.
So that's great. I mean, it was a great talking to you, Rob. I wonder if I had another question on my mind here. So, you do know about the Fed reserves. You see, what do you think in 5 years from now, what America would be like, the way that we're going?
So we look at full cycle investing. And what that means is We look at the market going up, the market going down, the market going up, the market going down again. And we plot 2 points where inflation is and where growth is. So if you put that on a line graph or whatever, you'll have an x-axis and a y-axis. You'll have inflation, you'll have growth. Quadrant number 1, that'll create 4 quadrants. Quadrant number 1 is what we call Goldilocks period, right? So you said you have kids, right? What's the youngest one's age?
My youngest one is 5.
Okay, 5. Boy or girl?
Boy.
What's his name?
Jaden.
Jaden. Yes, Jaden. Hey, Jaden, what stock should we invest in? In a quad 1. He'll say anything, and guess what? You're going to make money. That because everybody's making money hand over fist in quad 1. That's where inflation is decelerating and where growth is accelerating. That's where we were in 2020, right after COVID, and 2021. And you saw all your friends and your colleagues on Facebook talking about all this smack about how they're investing in AMC, they're investing in Dogecoin, they're investing in GameStop, and they're making money hand over fist.
No.
But that's an economic environment where anybody will make money in the stock market. You could throw shit at a wall and something will stick. Where we are now is the bottom part of that cycle.
Yeah.
Quadrant number 4. That's where pretty much nothing works. And that's where we're going to be for at least another year or so. So when I said earlier that people are going to lose a shit ton of their money, guess what? They're going to lose a shit ton of their money if they're not careful, if they're not risk managing their portfolios properly, and using a real, true, tried and true, back tested process.
Yeah,
that's what we do. So 5 years from now, I think we're going to be back in the bull market.
Yeah, I believe that.
Happens. It cycles.
It cycles. It corrects itself.
Exactly.
I think we are going to be in a much better predicament. I just know. I mean, here we have better technology than a lot of other countries, and we're making moves here that I mean I can't believe, things that we are inventing and coming out with that are going to change the market. And I think it's going to even help utilize. You're going to utilize it. I'm utilizing it. Millions of people are utilizing the new technology that's out, and it's just information that's getting to our fingertips much faster. It's using quantum science is involved with it. I mean, the stuff that's coming out, I'm shocked. I really am. I'm shocked at the technology. But that's what I see in the future. I see better options. I see a better, as long as we don't go to war and there's not a World War III, I believe we will get back to maybe, getting back to a better financial situation here.
Yeah, where people could start saving and not using their credit cards.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah. So this was a great conversation. I really want to bring awareness to everybody. Let's be financially responsible, especially for our group. Yes, we do have to take chances in business, and without chance, there's no reward sometimes. But remember, keep in mind, a financial advisor on your team to help you get there faster. This is Rob Nabel, and we're signing off. And thank you for coming up.
Appreciate you.
And share the interview with everybody, and hopefully come back up again, and we'll have another interview maybe in a couple of months or from now or next year, and hopefully finances be even better. Let's try to make money.
I look forward to it.
Thank you so much, man. Have a great day. And I'm signing off. This is Chris with Junk Doctors NJ, North New Jersey's local premier junk removal company. No job is too small, too big. We do hoarding, clean outs, and we have a podcast for all small businesses and entrepreneurs that are on their way to come up here and get some vision, some visualization of you, and so people could see who you are, and connect with people. Thank you so much for watching later on. Have a good day.